cover. If you have a rock wall like what you see here, if you've got spots that are just not that attractive that maybe you would put mulch at, or like every year you're constantly adding fresh mulch to and going out and buying it, and what are you noticing? Prices are probably going up on that. Maybe try some ground cover, because what this ground cover is going to do is it's going to replenish itself season after season after season, and you're going to get something that is a lot more beautiful than mulch. This is a set of 6 of these Hardy Stonecrop ground cover. Hardy meaning it's going to be able to last throughout the winter. It's a perennial that will come back year after year after year. It comes down to $4.99 each with free shipping and handling. Put it on an easy pay of just $9.99 to bring this at home. Where are some of the places, Derek, that I can use ground cover?
Well, really anywhere that you're getting full to part sun.
Okay.
So that's a big deal, because ground cover, you know, it's beautiful, especially these 3 varieties are our favorite. There are lots of stone crops out there in the world, but these are our absolute favorite because of the unique colors that they provide in the shapes. Each one of them is so different from the other one. And I like to point out that, you know, like this is the Red Dragon. This becomes like ruby red in the middle of the summertime.
Is it a succulent?
It is a succulent. And so you're going to put these, back to your question, in your mixed beds. You could do, even in containers if you like to get creative with a spiller sort of effect.
Cool.
You could do these in your rock gardens or your rock walls. You can put these in there. It's literally called Stonecrop because they'll grow in stone walls in stony areas.
Okay.
You can get very, very creative, but the fun thing about this is that they are very drought tolerant. So put them in the full sun. Don't worry about going out there to water them all the time. They're going to be fine.
So this is the type of thing that you're able to really kind of set it and forget it.
Yeah.
Depending on the environment that you live in, there's a good chance that, you know, if it's really rainy, you don't need to go outside whatsoever to care for them at that point. You don't have to water it frequently, and yet you're getting this amazing ground cover. You know, when you put this, and I think about my patio, I did miss out on the hens and chicks. They sold out, and there's so many regrets that I have from hosting these shows of like, why didn't I jump to my phone fast enough? Things sold out so quickly.
Yeah.
But this would be a really great alternative to it. I have a patio that has this little gap in between where today I was out there picking weeds out of it. This will kind of suffocate the weeds, right?
Totally. So that's the other benefit. They're beautiful. They're evergreen. So winter hardy you mentioned, but they're also evergreen. They don't die back year round. But they are problem solvers because with this collection, you are going to truly create a dense mat of ground cover, which weeds out the weeds, more or less.
Right.
It doesn't give them a place to come up. Yep.
Okay, so this is how it starts. When we get it home, we're getting 6, 2 of each of these.
Yes.
So there's 3 different species here that we're getting. This one, what is this going to look like as far as like by the end of the season? How big is this going to get?
Yeah, so we like to say that this one piece here is going to cover a size that's like 6 times its size right now.
Really?
And by the second year, it can go to up to 20 times its size.
Wow,
so
and you get 2 of those.
Yeah, so like this is one of those pieces.
Really?
The first season. It's well over 6 times its size. And that's what I love about this. And look how dense it is. So this is the Angelina. It's bright green. It looks like almost like a Christmas tree on a stem. Very, very beautiful.
Yeah.
They also can turn yellow. We've also got, here's the Red Dragon, which we saw in the images was very bright red. And then finally here we have our Tricolor.
I love the pink in that.
Yes, so this has got pink, white, and green, which is very special. The pink also gets really bold and bright in the summertime. And so you're getting 2 of each of these varieties. They pair great together. You could have them separately. I would love to look at the images again and talk about these.
Sure, please do.
And certain things you can do with them. So first and foremost, these are primarily foliage plants, so we're going to be interested in the greenery. But they do bloom in the middle of the summertime, and they look pretty. They're these quaint little pink flowers. Here you can see them again. That's sort of like a great example of a ground cover garden. There's a lot of other ground covers in there too, but Stonecrop is definitely part of that. And it just looks like such a special assortment of color. Now here's just the Angelina, and that has yellow flowers. You can see it's in the stone walls, it's above. It makes everything look sort of like it came out of an old world classic novel, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. Here's the 3 varieties side by side.
This is what you're getting.
Yeah, and you can see how bright red that red really becomes. And then the Angelina, it's like really green or really yellow, depending on the time of the year. And then there's your tricolor there.
You know, if you're going to use this in a pot where it spills over, there's a perfect example of that. It does look like a Douglas fir, a Christmas tree almost.
Yes, it does.
It's a succulent. Like when you get it at home and you feel it, it's kind of squishy. Like it's
Yes.
full of like water.
Well, yeah, so it holds its own water inside its leaves. That is why they're so drought tolerant. So you can have these in really sunny, dry areas. Typically, what we've experienced is even when there is drought and all your grass is dead, these are still looking great. And they're fun to do something like what you saw lining your walkway. There's the tricolor in bloom. It's got a little pink, little yellow there with the blooms. But this is something that if you want to cover a large area which you would either spend mulch on or you would be weeding, or it's just a dead zone and you don't know what to do with it, ground cover is a great option, and not all ground covers are the same. I love these because they're very low maintenance.
Which you can't get better than that.
Yep.
There's also only 1,100 that remain this season. So keep that in mind, that the final 1,100, as we're joking that this is called last chance plants, like no, this actually is very well one of your last chances to be able to get these at home. The Wallines, they're gonna go garden after this, and they're gonna be gardening for a while. So they'll be back next year, but this is your chance to be able to bring home some of their absolute favorites here with you. So don't miss out on that Stonecrop Groundcover. M132151 is your item number for that. Coming up, the